Hi, everybody. In case you're having trouble with the practice number 2 for this unit, I figured we could go over it together. So remember, our goal is to get x by itself, just like with a regular equation. So the first thing I want to do on this one, I see multiplying by 5, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. I'm left with x squared equals 180 divided by 5, 36. Now to get rid of the squared, the opposite is to take the square root of both sides, which makes the squared disappear. So now you're just left with x equals, and it's not just 6, it's positive 6 and negative 6. You always have two answers. Okay? All right, so let's just go through it. The next one, I see that minus 100, so I'm going to add 100 to both sides. So I'm left with 4x squared equals 100. Divide by 4. So the steps right now are just like they are for solving equations. The only new step you have is to get rid of the x squared. We have to take the square root to make it disappear to get that final step completed. So the square root of 25 is 5, but remember it could be positive or negative 5. You can list them separately or together like that. All right, next one. And by the way, maybe you're okay with the first few and you're only stuck on a couple. You can fast forward to that part of the video. All right, so we'll add 5. 2x squared equals 200. Divide by 2. X squared equals 100. Take the square root of both sides, and you're left with x equals positive and negative 10, not 50. 10 times 10 is 100. Okay, that's what would make our perfect square. All right, I circled 4 because I should have circled 4 and 5 because they look a little different, but that's okay. So we're going to subtract 9 from both sides. 5x squared equals 85. We'll divide both sides by 5. Second quit will get you out of there, second mode. 85 divided by 5, 17. Now here's the thing. When I go to take the square root of 17, it's not a perfect square. And when I go to y equals to do that trick, 17 divided by x squared, and go to the table, if you go down to 1, the only set is 1 radical 17. So 17 cannot be reduced. So it's just positive and negative 1 radical 17 or just radical 17. All right, so it can't be reduced further from that. Okay, next one, let's give it a try. We're going to subtract 13 from both sides. Watch those negatives. Negative 12, oops, we'll go second quit. Negative 12 minus 13, negative 25. All right. Oh, yep, negative 25. So we have negative 36x squared equals negative 25. So far, so good. Divide by negative 36. X squared equals. Now, here's the thing. 25 and 36 are both perfect squares. All right. If I do negative 25 divided by negative 36, I get that. We don't want to leave it like that, so hit math, enter, enter. It's positive 25 over 36. So the two negatives disappeared. They canceled each other out. But we have a fraction. It's okay. If we take the square root of both sides like we did before, you're left with x equals positive or negative. The square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 36 is 6. Positive or negative 5, 6. That's it. All right. For some reason we don't like fractions. It's okay. What does this mean? Over 4 means dividing by 4. So if we multiply both sides by 4, we get x squared equals 9 times 4, which is 36. And one step and we're done. Square root of both sides, x equals positive or negative 6. Done. All right. These next two, you cannot distribute. This x squared doesn't allow it. Think back to PEMDAS. Exponents come before multiplication. So we're actually just going to get rid of it. If you divide both sides by 6, you'll be left with x plus 8 in parentheses squared equals 54 divided by 6, which is 9. Check your calculator if you don't believe me. And now to get rid of the squared on the outside of our parentheses, we're going to take the square root. So we're left with x plus 8 equals positive or negative 3. And then we'll subtract 8 from both sides. And remember, you have two answers. Sorry, there's a thunder and lightning storm going on outside. Hopefully you can't hear that. So one of your answers would be positive 3 minus 8. X equals negative 5. The other answer would be negative 3 minus 8. So that answer would be negative 11. All right, so just be careful with that. All right, last question. Subtract 6 from both sides. We're left with x minus 7 in parentheses squared equals 81. Good, that's perfect square. We like that. Take the square root. X minus 7 equals positive or negative 9. And then we add 7 to both sides, which leaves us with x equals positive 9 plus 7. So x is 16. Or x can be negative 9 minus 7. Or excuse me, negative 9 plus 7, which is negative 2. And that's it. Again, this was just one method. The next method we're going to talk about is solving by factoring, which most people don't love, but we're going to get some practice in. It's good to know how to factor. But the one that's really going to help us is the quadratic formula, because it works every single time. All right. Hopefully this helped you. If not, stop by the math lab. I'm happy to help you even further. Have a great day.